has predominantly been a fishing and mining town, and with all these new industries that's on its way, we keep referring to it as the third revolution. I think the most important key factor for us is to ensure that our community and our residents actually benefit from all of the opportunities that's on its way. Working on this town boundary expansion, it's very complex because we are boxed in by the ocean, the diamond area and the national park. So we need to really discuss this with all of our stakeholders to make sure that we endeavor in a sustainable development. Number one is making sure that we ethically plan for the people, with the people, and then the second one is to make sure it's sustainable and speaks to the SDGs. Takeaways that we hope to achieve is really making networks and finding partners that can help us address and overcome a lot of these challenges.
To promote our product, and if we are a marketing agency, if one can put it that way, our product is Namibia. However, Namibia is very, very committed to environment protection. So much committed that we have got it in our constitution. How do we leverage various partnerships for us to be able to engage this industry? An investor came to me and talked about green hydrogen, and yes, green hydrogen is also a matter of resources and there's a lot of renewable energy, but there is a significant value chain from technology development through to industrialization or having steel that is green steel and so on. It's very, very important to make sure that from a technology point of view, we are able to play at all levels of the value chain. So strategic relationships, increase in research and development, making sure that we have got skills that are necessary to achieve our value.
Our job is to create a leapfrogging opportunity for Namibia to go from a country with a very low industrial base to a country with a very large sustainable industrial base that is of course taking advantage of the renewable energy potential that is found in Namibia and a very strategic positioning on the coast of the southwestern tip of Africa, which of course allows us to be a very strategic exporter of goods to the world. If we get it right, it'll be transformative, not just for Namibia, but really, for the region. I think, for the continent, right? Because global investors will no longer think that Africa is just good for extracting minerals, but we can be sophisticated industrialists, not just in the private sector, but also in government. And that is the experiment that we're currently busy with. And of course, we're very excited at the potential outcomes if we get it right. Man, we would really love for some guys to come and make some commitments, right? Hey, if you can make for me green ammonia at 850, I'm happy to offtake 2 million tons over the next 10 years. It's not a blank check, but it's saying a decent price range, a decent time frame, so that developers have a real target, right? And then it's up to us now between government and private sector to say, what should the tax rates be for 850 to be a reality? What is their LCOA? What is the source of equipment? How much should that be? And what do we do with the cost of capital? Where do we get the DFIs, the banks? We can problem solve for an 850, 2 million tons between 2030 and 2040, right? You can then back solve for that. So it would be amazing for somebody, or two or three to come and make that sort of commitment. Then we're going beyond talk shops, right? So if we can achieve that together with you guys and the Namibian government and everyone else, I would be waking up the day after an extremely proud, inspired, and excited Namibian, but African as well. And I hope we can make it happen. I think we can. If we work hard enough, I do quietly suspect we can make it happen. So I look forward to it.
So Namibia taking the step and the step into green industrialization or green hydrogen is not only about decarbonization, it's about the inequalities, it's about youth unemployment, it's about really boosting Namibia's economy and being a game changer for transformation, and also ensuring that we attain our Vision 2030 agenda, which is really to make sure that young people once they graduate are employed.
I think Hyphen's goal is really to be a driver of Namibia's economic growth. For a project, it's not just about solving for the engineering or the technical solutions, it's solving for how do you mobilize large amounts of capital to invest in projects that haven't been done on this scale on the African continent. That's new. I think for us, the key impediment to unlocking the sector at large scale is really the market development. So what we call the price discovery process. At the moment, there is no price for green hydrogen. first projects will be expensive. This energy transition can either go very fast or very slow with respect to green hydrogen. So I think we can either build small projects and have a very long transition for green hydrogen to reach maturity for the cost curve to come down, or we can compress that very quickly by having a few very large projects coming to the market very quickly. So trust is critical. As countries look to import green hydrogen, they're going to be committing billions of dollars of funding into projects. So trust between a producer country and a receiving country are critical.
Regulation around, access to potential markets, offtake agreements, and any other potential support, albeit technical or financial, would definitely be a big win coming out of the summit to be had. And of course, it goes without saying, the opportunity for potential support with respect to the ongoing work that's happening, not only at Dowres, but I would imagine for developers within Africa alike.
I'm responsible for looking after the socio-economic development component of the project, which is all to do with how Namibians will benefit. So yeah, that's the driver. Okay. What Namibia's business case is, right? Namibia is able to deliver green hydrogen projects at scale, to do so at relatively low cost, security to countries in Europe. I think when we talk about the energy transition and my function and what it means for Namibia, what really gets us excited is the absolute mega potential for economic development that the project has. Hydrogen strategy, and by extension the Hyphen project is part of government's initiative to revitalize the economy. We have to ensure maximum Namibian participation. And absolutely, this is a Namibian project. It goes without saying that we should do that. But the question, ESG really forms the bedrock, the foundation of how we approach the implementation of the project, right? So on the environmental side, the social side, and the governance side, right? Hyphen project, as I've described, is a Namibian project, and we want to make sure that through our stakeholder engagements, but also initiatives like these, is to ensure that it's not just the usual suspects, it's not established businesses, but it's SMEs that need to come into the fray. It is bringing in regional people that are not necessarily based in the Commerce region or in Windhoek. So to provide access to the conference and the information that will be shared, I think that will be really critical.
Thank you so much.
We need to understand that energy transition is inevitable. And this is our collective efforts to make sure that we really embrace the energy transition. My role is to make sure that whatever development plans that comes up, they consider safe environmental measures. Carbon credit market is very, very huge. And we want to see how is it that we can tap much into that. We have come to a point where we need to start talking less and actually putting what we are talking into action.
What inspires me is the promise of a better tomorrow for Namibia's children, especially those in the smaller communities which are less privileged than the central parts. In countries in Africa, people are usually left out just because of information. So if we can start with information, I think that'll have a big impact on the future of this industry. With information, you can get creative. And then you can also think of what you want your future to look like. If you don't have information, you're left in the dark. So information is basically the light. That is going to be the highlight for us to also get inspired by the different companies and delegates and speakers that will be attending. I think it will really give us inspiration to actually be hopeful about the hydrogen initiatives in this country. So I basically want to present myself and show the youth that it is possible. You don't have to be 50 years old to be involved in this industry. You could be a person from my background, like from a media background, and still be involved in such initiatives as a youth, because as I keep advocating, we need to be involved now so that we can fix problems for tomorrow. Participation in this event is crucial for unlocking Namibia's green hydrogen potential. So it's very important that we attend this event, learn from others. We don't have to go through the same mistakes twice. We can learn from others, skills transfer, knowledge transfer. This is key. This event is key for us to actually unlock our green hydrogen potential.